And welcome to another RSR. Today, we are reacting to the group stage and predicting the knockout stage of the 2025 CONCACAF Gold Cup. Reacción de la fase de grupos y predicción de la fase eliminar de la Copa Oro de la CONCACAF. We will go in the order of the groups as they finished, starting with Group D. Fourth place, we have Haiti. 0-1-2 with 1.2 goals for, 4 goals against, minus 2 goal differential. Third place, Trinidad Tobago. 0-2-1, 2 points, 2 goals for, 7 goals against, minus 5 goal differential. Second place, Saudi Arabia. 1-1-1, 4 points, 2 goals for, 2 goals against, 0 goal differential. And first place, the United States, 3-0-0, 9 points, 8 goals for, 1 goal against, plus 7 goal differential. 2 out of 4 correct, advance and elimination. I had the USA and Haiti. Had the USA and Haiti getting eliminated, or USA going forward, Haiti getting eliminated. Saudi Arabia, Trinidad. Saudi I thought would win the group, or my bad. I did have the USA and Haiti getting eliminated. I'm not going to edit that. I don't care. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. I do care, but it is what it is. I did have the USA getting eliminated. I did, with Haiti. I had Saudi advancing, first place though. Trinidad, second place. That did not happen. So the only one I got correct was Haiti in fourth place with the correct position. So 1 out of 4 there. United States, the only reason they look somewhat dominant on these results is the fact that they stomped out Trinidad, which is not something I thought would have happened. I thought Trinidad were going to have a pretty solid game against the United States and draw. And that's how I thought the U.S. would get grouped, because I thought they would beat Haiti, but lose to Saudi, draw Trinidad. Trinidad does enough to get in, which they almost did. If they would have beat Saudi, they still would have made it, but second place, just Saudi wouldn't have made it. So, weirdly enough, I probably would have got more correct position if I actually got Trinidad. But either way, would have been the same. Either way, with that being said, Trinidad very much disappointed me. I'd say they're one of the 2 most disappointing teams of the tournament. Trinidad I actually had hopes for. Jamaica, I had them advancing, but I'm not so shocked they got grouped. I could see the way this went down, going down, and it's not surprising to me that Jamaica got grouped. I saw a situation like this. I thought Trinidad was better than they showed, or they actually did show. I was wrong about Trinidad. They were the most disappointing in my book because I had them going through and I actually thought they would go through. Jamaica, I still thought they could beat Guatemala, even though they've been absolutely trash. But they had just done it 2 days before I predicted the tournament, so I was like, you know what? Probably they'll do it again, but no, but we'll get there. But yes, USA advances, 3 wins. 9 points, one of the only teams to get 9 points. They were only one of the 2. Half the groups had a 9 point. The other 2 had a 7 point. Speaking of, that means we move on to Group A. Fourth place, Suriname, 0-1-2. 1 point, 3 goals for, 6 goals against, minus 3 goal differential. Third place, Dominican Republic, 0-1-2. 1 point, 3 goals for, 5 goals against, minus 2 goal differential. Costa Rica, second place, 2-1-0, 7 points, 6 goals for, 4 goals against, plus 2 goal differential. Mexico, 2-1-0, 7 points, 5 goals for, 2 goals against, plus 3 goal differential. 4 for 4, advanced and eliminated. Had 2 for 4 correct positions, but I think that was Mexico, Costa Rica. I thought the DR would be 4th. I didn't think Suriname would be worse. But one of the most impressive teams of this tournament was the DR. How they played against Mexico, how they played against Costa Rica, drawn to Suriname while down a man. How do you let that happen if you're Suriname? I thought Suriname was further ahead in their project. But the DR showed they're not here to play. They're not here to play around. So, got everything right on who would advance and who would get eliminated, but the top 2 I had correctly. The bottom 2 flipped them. But either way, I think it matters more if I was right about them advancing or not. I think so. Group C. Oh, also, I will say Mexico was very disappointing throughout that group. I feel like they should have done better. I feel like when it came down to it, Mexico was a little bit unconvincing, especially the first two games. I think once they put on Mateo Chavez and Marcel Ruiz, I think as that third game went on, they looked more convincing. They just couldn't score. Overall, though, sort of unconvincing. Costa Rica looked like I would have expected them to. Suriname, I'm disappointed. DR, I'm pretty impressed. Now Group C. Fourth place, Guadeloupe, 0-3, 0 points, 5 goals for, 10 goals against, -5 goal differential. Jamaica, third place, 1-2, 3 points, 3 goals for, 6 goals against, -3 goal differential. Guatemala, second place, 2-1, 6 points, 4 goals for, 3 goals against, +1 goal differential. Panama, first place, 3-0, 10 goals for, 9 points, 10 goals for, 3 goals against, +7 goal differential. I was 2 out of 4 advance and elimination. I had Panama advancing. I had Guadeloupe getting eliminated. I did have Jamaica going through instead of Guatemala. That's why I'm 2 for 4 there, as well as 2 for 4 correct positions. Panama, first place, of course. Guadeloupe, fourth. Flip Guatemala, Jamaica. So 50-50 on that group. Panama they did their job. I think they were unconvincing at times. Not having Carrasquillo would do that, even if I think his Pumas run has been absolutely horrible. I would say, yeah, Panama, they did what you would expect them to do. Guatemala had the chance to get through. I'm not surprised they did. They beat Jamaica. Jamaica's very unconvincing under Steve McLaren. I said what I had to say about him. He should get fired for crashing out. Can't be worse if they got somebody from Jamaica or somebody else for September, October, November. If it doesn't work, you could fire him instantly. If it does work, well, you have them through the World Cup, and then you reevaluate from there. But Panama did what they were supposed to do. Guatemala, I'm not so shocked. Even though I had Jamaica going through, I thought, yeah, they could still beat them, even though I think they're unconvincing, and beat Guadeloupe, which they did do, and then they got owned by Panama. Jamaica did. Guatemala didn't get owned by Panama by any means. They had them close. So Guatemala was the better team of the two, of Jamaica, Guatemala in this group, not just because of the points, but also the fact that they were better and they advanced. And finally, Group B, the one that I know I cared about the most, and I'm not so happy with it, even though it went the way I wanted it to. Fourth place, El Salvador, 0-2, 1 point, 0 goals for, 4 goals against, -4 goal differential. 3 Curacao, 0-2-1, 2 points, 2 goals for, 3 goals against, -1 goal differential. Honduras, second place, 2-0-1, 6 points, 4 goals for, 7 goals against, -3 goal differential. Canada, 2-1-0, 7 points, 9 goals for, 1 goal against, +8 goal differential. 4 for 4 advance elimination. I had everybody advancing and eliminated in the right spots. 3 out of 4 correct position. I had Curacao being under El Salvador because I thought El Salvador would at least beat Curacao, but they did not do that. That game was ugly. A 0-0 draw that was one of the most boring games I've ever watched. Curacao drew Canada, which, honestly, I am surprised. Canada definitely shot themselves in the foot multiple times there, but got saved because Curacao got CONCACAF'd. Weird. Honduras, Canada beat them 6-0. Yeah, I wish the rest of the group went that way. But Honduras beat El Salvador. That's where 6 of their points, 3 of their 6 points came from. They also beat Curacao 2-1. And that's how they got through with Canada. Canada should have done better, but they at least won the group for the first time since 2009. Amazing, I guess. But sometimes it doesn't go your way perfectly, but it went their way enough. Now we have Eustachio back. That's awesome. A little bit disappointed in Canada, but now that we have Eustachio back, I think we'll be a little bit better. Honduras, I'm not surprised they went through. Curacao, I'm a little bit surprised how they played. A little bit impressed. El Salvador, I'm not even unimpressed. I expected them to suck. Even though I expected them to finish third, I expected them to suck when it mattered. Of course, Canada, Honduras, but they even sucked against Curacao. which means 4 for 4, 3 for 4 correct position. Which means total from the group stage with advanced elimination, 14 out of 16. Not bad. Total out of the group stage completely, 8 out of 16 on the correct positions, which means Saudi Arabia, Costa Rica is not a quarterfinal match. So that does not count as a advancement on my full total, which I will reference on the final review, because this was before the tournament. Quarterfinal 2, Mexico could still advance, even though they won't be playing Trinidad. Panama, Honduras is a quarterfinal. Had Panama winning. Canada versus Jamaica is not a quarterfinal, but Canada could still advance. So, yes. Saudi Arabia versus Canada is not a semifinal, but Canada could still make the final, so that could still be a check for Canada if they make the final. And then Mexico, Panama can still be a semifinal, had Mexico winning that final. Canada, Mexico, Canada winning that. But those will add on, which means we're going to go with the advanced elimination for the full total, because that's what makes sense, because that's what I'm adding on for the full-on predictions I had for the tournament. Still checking these, even though I'm doing another knockout prediction, which is only 7. But that means 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 out of 23 could be my full total for this tournament. We will reference that later on. With that being said, now let's move on to the knockout predictions. Quarterfinal 1. We'll go from this side to this side. Quarterfinal 1, we have United States versus Costa Rica. I think this game's going to be very close. I know Costa Rica's missing a couple of their best players. Gallo Ugalde, of course, due to second yellow cards. Yellow card accumulation, of course. But I think this game's going to be very close. The United States does not impress me. I think they are a very bad group of players that Pochettino called up. They were not good against Haiti or Saudi. They were good against Trinidad. They scored 5 goals. But if you take that away, they're still the same team we were panicking about. And they did their job against the 2 European friendlies. Costa Rica is a way better team than Saudi and Haiti. Keylor Navas does not have to do as much work as he did against Mexico to get this game to an extra time or a penalty shootout. But in the end, I still think the U.S. edges it. Whether it's an extra time or penalties, I don't know. I'm going to lean towards United States wins over Costa Rica on penalties, and they look absolutely pick-offable by the winner of Canada versus Guatemala, quarterfinal 4. I have Canada winning. I do. You could call me delusional. You could call me biased. Yeah, the knockout stage, the group stage did not look pretty, especially the Curacao game or the El Salvador game. That Honduras game, similar situation to the U.S., sort of, except we had a really good European friendly or outside of CONCACAF friendly window, a win over Ukraine, draw over Ivory Coast. With the squad, we brought our mostly best squad to this tournament. We're getting Eustachio back, which that we really need, because these past 2 games, they haven't really had any leaders. They've only had soldiers. No Davies, no Eustachio, you don't have leaders. David's not a leader. Jonathan David's not a leader. We don't know about Promise yet. He hasn't really had the shot. I think with Eustachio, they have that leader to where it's a lot more calmer. They could break down those teams who bunker. I think they actually probably will do better against USA or Mexico because they don't bunker, even Panama to a certain extent. Guatemala does bunker like Curacao and El Salvador, but they do believe in themselves a little bit more. So I think it will be a little bit more open, more like the Honduras game, not as much as a Mexico or USA game would be. But I think Canada with Eustachio does break down Guatemala to win the match. 3-1 Canada. They move on to the semifinal, the other side of the bracket. Quarterfinal 2, Mexico versus Saudi Arabia. Hands down, I don't care that Montez is out. Reyes is going to be playing. Still don't care. Mexico's winning this game. If they play like they did against Costa Rica, they're going to make Saudi Arabia look like fools. Even if they don't, they're still going to make them look like fools because this Saudi Arabia team does not have the players that played against Argentina. Those Al Hilal players are at the Club World Cup, toiling away for them, and they still will be when this quarterfinals played. So, yeah, I don't see Salzburg beating Madrid. So very likely so, depending on what happens with Pachuca. But yeah, they'll probably still be toiling away. And really, do you see Aldusri playing much? Besides, I don't think they Eustachio'd Aldusri. I'll check, but I don't think they did. With that being said, or at least to the point where he's actually on the squad, they could call him up. No, I think it's only if there's an injury they could Eustachio him. Because if you're on the preliminary list, I think they can make the switch. But either way, Saudi, nah, Mexico wins. Quarterfinal 3, Panama versus Honduras. Honduras beat Curacao and El Salvador. I don't see them beating Panama. Panama's better than those two, but not Canada. But Panama wins. They'll do their job. 2-0 Panama. Mexico, Saudi Arabia, I say 3-0 Mexico. So our semifinals, United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama. The big four playing each other in the final four. Who would have known? Who would have known? United States versus Canada. Canada beats the United States for a third straight time. If we struggle against Guatemala, I might be worried. But you know what? Eustachio's back. They're going to feel a little bit better after that quarterfinal win. United States still suck. This is their worst roster of the three they brought to a Canada game. And this is Canada, still a very damn good roster. Canada's the favorite here. Until proven otherwise, Canada beats the United States once again 3 times in a row on American soil, by the way. 3 times is still not the charm for the USA. It is for Canada, though. 3-0 on them. Boom. Canada to the final. Mexico, Panama semifinal. Semifinal 2. Mexico wins 1-0. Panama's going to give it a go. But just like the Nations League final, they will come up short. Raul saves Mexico's hind end. They go to the final. Our Gold Cup final is still Canada versus Mexico in my book. And I'm still going with Canada. I don't care what Pacharo says. I don't care if you think I'm a jinx. Dude, I said Porto would be a clown car and get eliminated out of the group with Miami. I didn't think Miami would be the ones to advance, but still. Had Porto getting knocked out. I ain't no damn jinx. I don't care what you think. I'm riding with Canada till the train comes off the tracks. You have a problem with that? Tough cookie. Canada will figure this out. I don't know how. They have looked crappy for the past 2 games, but they have a ceiling we saw against Honduras. And I have a damn feeling that against a team who doesn't bunker, we could still kick their ass. And you know what? Mexico, you look a little bit more impressive than I thought. But in the end, Canada still finds a way. 1-0 Canada. I will ride this train till it comes off the tracks with balls of fire just spurting out of it. Flames just spurting out of it. I will ride this train till it's off the tracks, burning, exploded. Okay? And you could say, hey, I'm the clown of the week when Canada blows this. I fell for it again. Fine. We may be friendly FC, but I don't have to admit that if we win this trophy. I still have a feeling I'll be right. It wasn't pretty during the group stage, but that's not what matters. They got first place. Get the job done now. Let's go. With that being said, I'm sticking with it. Canada's the champion. If you want to call that, fine. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. If they lose, I'm a clown. If they win, I'm keeping receipts. I'm keeping receipts. I told you so. When it happens, I will laugh my ass off. With that being said, there you go. There are my CONCACAF Gold Cup predictions of the knockout round and my group stage reaction. If you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell all your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribe. Send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you tomorrow, or later today, actually, because of the time this is coming up, and it still would have been today, even if when I'm recording this. I will see you later for a double live watch along of Toronto FC versus New York Red Bull, and Urawa Red Diamonds versus CF Monterrey, the Club World Cup. I will see you later. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. See ya.